So, welcome again to Keys to Heaven. And now we come to number 7 in the process that we've been wending our way up the tree of life. We come to a very spectacular Archangel, who in many ways is the last key that you need to collect in order just to go click like this. So this is SoulSchool. I'm Theolyn, and if you enroll at theolyn.com as a member, completely free, you'll get access to lots of content in the members library, and that includes the booklet, which I keep promoting. That's very helpful for you, completely free. Working with Archangels for Abundance, and it has the map that we've been using. Here we go again. And now, here's a clue now. You can see where we've got to, because last time we did Samael, and now we're going to talk to Zadkiel. So let's do a quick run through again. Oriel and her companion, the steward of the planet, Zadkiel. Gabriel, whose key is really important, because without communicating something, you're not going to create what you want to create in this world. Your soul is not going to be able to fulfill its purpose. And then you met Haniel, who gives that élan vital, the vitality that's required, it's more than actually, because Michael's more about real basic vitality. Haniel is about focused energy. And just to say something more about that, so Michael is the commander-in-chief. So Haniel's like his lieutenant, his right-hand man. He could push us forward because the captain has announced, the commander-in-chief has announced what's got to be done. And the commander-in-chief is like unto God, and therefore empowers Haniel to move forward with progress, to move forward with purpose and focus. That was just a quick thought. I ought to drop that in. So then we met up with Raphael, because we discovered that if you use all that Haniel energy all the time, you need to take a back step and relax. Oh, right, okay. So those two are showing us that kind of polarity of energies, the yang and the yin, that are complementary, but also sometimes pulling against each other, the one wanting to go off, the yang wanting to go off, the yin wanting to retreat. So grasping those energetic qualities in your own being, in your own lifestyle, this is a great step forward towards the mastery of your life and your soul purpose. Then we had Michael, yes, vitality and soul energetic, which allows you to perpetuate your vitality in the physical body, not just soul vitality, but vitality embodied, so that you can take charge of actually how your body works. And there's an immense amount of healing energy around Michael, because that quality kind of removes the stress, removes the anxiety, because it's so well centered that anxiety and stress kind of roll off it like water off Teflon or something like that. So Michael energy has got that centeredness. So it's vital and powerful, but it's also quite calm and stable and centering. And then we crossed paths with the Ice Queen, the Snow Queen, who has the key to discipline and the keeping of boundaries, appropriate boundaries. And now, on the contrary side of the tree of life, we meet, yes, Zadkiel. That's why I thought I would wear some Zadkiel colours today. So Zadkiel's name, by the way, means righteousness of God. Zadka is to do with righteousness. And when you say righteousness in that context, it's not like, I'm right all the time. It's like the correctness. So it's about propriety, being proper, being correct, observing the protocols. And one of the favourite ways I like to talk about Zadkiel is to think of the psalm about the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures, and my cup overflows. So Zadkiel has this generosity of abundance, and it is quite regal. We might think of Michael as being the royal one in the chart, but it was the high priest who sometimes was so close to the king, and sometimes the king himself was the high priest in ancient times. So this expansiveness, especially of resources, can be associated with Zadkiel. And in astrology, Zadka is the Hebrew name for planet Jupiter. So that's a really close identification for Jupiter with this particular archangel. And you can see here, he does look like a priest in a kind of magical way. He's got this wonderful cope on him, which is jewelled. And his gown is like the night sky. And then he also carries this almost a halo of white power energy hanging around him. And the role of Zadkiel in this process is to say, yes, you collect all the keys, and I'll give you another key to abundance. But he's also saying that I'm not the only one. You can't just have my energy on its own. This is a holistic system. And you have to observe the qualities that arise in it with all the other archangels and their particular focuses. However, being a kind of high priest character means that Zadkiel has got the last key before you move to the higher part of the tree of life, which is going to be another story. It's going to be another series or a webinar. Because when you get to that point on the tree, I'll just show you the map in case you haven't got it. Here we have Zadkiel. And then the next focus up is this mysterious space, which in Hebrew is called Dart, which is to do with knowledge. And we're talking here about self-knowledge. Because if you have a sense of self-knowledge and an understanding of the different aspects of these sacred archetypes and how they work in your kingdom, you get to a point where you can step through into a different arena. And that arena is those top three placements on the tree of life that you can see above that here, the triangle at the top. Now, that you could say is the heavenly arena, and everything else below it is sacred and holy, but it's not the Holy of Holies. Not till you get past that do get to the Holy of Holies. And that's where the mysteries are. That's where the mystique associated with something like the Ark of the Covenant was, because it's like a veil, at that, that conceals the greater mysteries. So this is definitely a mystical journey that you're going on, but it has practical outcomes, and that's the point. The point is to get a sense of being able to move into heaven while at the same time being grounded in all these sacred activities which are relevant to being a human person, to being a person who wants to work in the world and yet at the same time have their connection to the heavens and to the higher realms and the mysteries of life. So I hope you can see from this series that these keys are, and it is a metaphor. I mean, like saying that they're gates of light, it's an allegorical way of looking at these experiences. But let's call them keys because it is like, if I work in this way, then I get these kind of results. If I work in this way, then something different happens. So they are processes as well as being sacred archetypes or angelic entities that are hovering around the way we create things, because we are creators. We are like the gods. We can create things, but we need to create things with great conscientiousness so that we don't overstep one mark in order to create something. We must always be able to see how moving forward in that direction may actually mean that we lose something in the other direction. So we want to tread our path really carefully. So that's why there's a pillar of equilibrium in the tree of life, holding the balance. And it's also true that if it's always balanced, then not very much happens. So it's a question of dealing with the contraries or the complementaries and saying, this is the time for it to be like this is the time for it to be like that. Old biblical stuff, a time for every season under heaven. And this is a magical process because this is how things happen. This is how magic is made, by working with these energies in the way that seems appropriate for you and your lifestyle, and allowing them to infuse you with something that is already innate in you and just needs to be woken up and stirred up by having these conversations. Because the archangels are ever present in all creation, as well as in you. And if you've lost touch with the archangel in yourself, then doing a meditation, creating an altar, finding crystals or plants or whatever resonates with that archangel, or colours, whatever, will allow you to kind of stabilise something that's already there for you. But in your creative process, you may not have engaged with it deeply, or you may have just lost touch with that part of yourself, and or you may be actually fearful of that part of yourself. So there you are. Those were 7 episodes, although there were 8 archangels. And you can find out more in that booklet if you haven't already got it, becoming a member at Theolyn.com. Also, in the members library, there are other videos and materials about the archangels. And you can get in touch with me anytime. Email me at Theolyn@Theolyn.com if you've got any questions. And I do try to answer people, although obviously I have quite a lot of people contacting me. So don't be shy. Remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel so you get notifications when I put new videos up. And like it. Oh, and share it. That was the other thing. please share with your friends and fellow seekers. And I'll be back again in the very near future with more content. Goodbye and blessings.